Good morning, students. Welcome to a new class of your Oracle subject. Previously, we have discussed many topics regarding Oracle. We have discussed about the Oracle tools. One of the Oracle tools is your SQL. Regarding SQL also we have discussed, and SQL Star Plus is the interface that helps the Oracle or SQL to perform the executions and support the SQL queries to be provided and executed in a perfect manner, and help the server to store the data and provide the results whenever the user queries it. But today we'll discuss about the SQL Star Plus, that is the interface helped in the SQL. Got it? The SQL Star Plus is the another Oracle tool that helps in execution of the SQL statements, the interactive SQL statements provided, or the PL/SQL programs provided, and support the user to perform their operations. Whenever the user wants to store any data, retrieve any data, perform different actions on the database, and support the database systems to get its executions, then you can take help of the SQL and SQL Star Plus to provide the SQL commands and execute those at a right moment, and helps the user's view to support the user perfectly in receiving the informations and providing the reports in an effective manner. Understood? Whenever the user queries something, it writes the query in the SQL. And when the SQL accepts the info query lines, then it converts those query lines into the output, where it will receive the information and where it will execute the queries. That is the SQL Star Plus interface. And to perform the execution of the SQL Star Plus interface, there are different commands supported. Some existing style of query lines you have to write. You have to follow strictly the available commands and the supported query lines and the respective format in order to provide the SQL queries. Then the SQL Star Plus will receive the queries, execute those queries, and provide the results. Got it? In order to execute the query lines, the SQL Star Plus has a specific storage area that is called as SQL buffer. You know about buffer memory, where the data is stored for execution only for a limited for a time of period. The query lines will be received, the results will be taken out, then the use of SQL buffer will be no longer required. Got it? The SQL buffer helps the SQL statements to be stored and executed. Okay? Before execution, the data is stored, then executed, then the results are provided to the user. Got it? In order to receive the data, in order to execute the data, in order to temporarily store the data, the SQL buffer is being used. Got it? The SQL Star Plus supports a format where the query results and the outputs will be provided in a proper format, and the format will be according to the SQL Star Plus usability. Whatever queries are provided by the user, that provides the information in the same interface, and the information will be shown as per the format available by the SQL Star Plus. And the format is also user friendly, so that he can understand and use its results in a perfect manner. And what can be the format also, the user can change it as per his requirement. If the user want to display the result as per his usability, as per his requirement, then also he can change it. Understood? The format is available because there is a proper way required in order to show the results. And the meaning and the structure and the output display manner in which the results will be shown is called as the output format. And the output format makes the user to properly understand what results he have received, the results are requisite for him, or the results are not required for him. If the results are inappropriate for him, then also he can change the output format, or he can make its query rectified so that the result will be as per his requirement. You can re-execute the same query line again also by changing minor requirements on it, minor errors on it, or there is no error, still you require some changes to be displayed in the output screen, then also you can make the changes and re-execute the command line again. And that is also supported by the SQL Star Plus interface. Okay. The major role of submitting the SQL statements to the Oracle server for execution is supported by the SQL Star Plus. Got it? If the SQL Star Plus is not available, then the SQL server will have no work to perform. Got it? And whenever the SQL needs any query to be executed, the SQL Star Plus is providing it the feedback, the support, the means to help the user to do their actions. You can say SQL Star Plus is the communication medium. It is the place where the interaction between the user and the SQL server takes place. Got it? When the SQL statements are given, there is someone needed to take those queries and provide the result to the user. And that is the SQL Star Plus. Understood? The medium to receive the inputs from the user, execute the inputs, and provide the outputs is done by the SQL Star Plus. The medium is the SQL Star Plus. Got it? The SQL Star Plus has edit commands also, through which it helps the user to invoke, modify the SQL statements provided by the user. Invoke means receive, help to define a database, help to modify a database, have to change a database operation, retrieve the information available in the database, and modify the SQL statements. Means change the SQL statements if any required by the user. Once we have written a SQL statement as per our need, but we are not 100% satisfied with the output. So we can make modification on the same SQL query line so that it can be helpful for making the operations shown as per the new ideas. For that, the edit commands are available. When we'll go through the SQL actions in detail, you can learn it very well. By using right arrows, by using upper arrows, you can get the same query lines again. You can use the arrow marks and go to the location where you want to make the change. You can write the new changes at that location. Then you using enter key, you can execute the query line again. To support all those, the SQL Star Plus is always present, actively watching, seriously receiving the commands and converting the commands into the result, and follow the user's commands also perfectly. Got it? It is a best student. The SQL Star Plus is a best student who follows its teacher very well. Who is the teacher? The user is the teacher. The user want to do actions, and the SQL Star Plus as a good student provided the results perfectly to the teacher. Got it? The SQL Star Plus has a major role. You have already understood regarding it. Without SQL Star Plus, what we can do? Nothing we can do. We cannot provide the inputs to the system. The inputs in a proper format also cannot be provided. The input in a changed manner we want to execute also we cannot do. When it provides the SQL Star Plus interface, then only you can do its actions. Got it? So you can think SQL Star Plus is the major medium that supports to execute your data inside the system. Got it? It supports the user to provide its informations and execute with the system and provide the result as per the user's thoughts, user's ideas. Got it? Then we'll go for the SQL Star Plus real work. How it do its real work perfectly? Using the SQL query languages. The SQL Star Plus provides the users the right set of actions. In what manner the user will give its input, in what manner the results will be shown, what type of results, what type of output the user wants, those everything will be provided through the SQL query languages. And the queries provided through SQL query languages are received by SQL Star Plus, executed, then the output will be displayed in the SQL Star Plus interface. Output screen. Understood? So what are those SQL query languages in which we can write our inputs, we can provide our commands? There are some set of existing commands in SQL Star Plus we have already discussed. According to the existing set of commands, the results will be provided. And the existing set of commands, we must have to know what are those and how those works. Here, regarding the categories of SQL query languages, we will only overview the commands to be used and what are its role. Got it? It has many query languages. Those are divided into certain subqueries called as your DQL, data query language, DDL, data definition language, DCL, data control language, DML, data manipulation language, TCL, transaction control language. There are also many languages. Let us learn about it from this point of view, because these things are very important. DQL, DDL, DML, DCL, TCL. So the important things only will discuss. Got it? DQL, data query language, is there to fetch the information from the database. Those are already stored in the database. Previously, the data is stored and we want to retrieve, then we can use the data query language. And that execution can be done with a command that is called as select. Select star from table name. It is one of the examples of the query line those you are going to write. Using select command, you can write certain query lines in which you can specify certain row names, column names, or multiple tables information to be displayed. Then it will support you to show the output according to your query. SQL supports the select as a more effective command to retrieve existing information from the database. Using select, you can retrieve different rows, those you want to specifically display. You can also display informations according to column wise. Suppose the table consists of 5 or 6 rows, 5 or 6 columns. Out of that, only 2 or 3 columns you want to display. Only 2 or 3 columns you want to display. Then also through select, you can provide the query line and display only those specific column information, not all. If you want to display all informations, then you can use select star from. All information. Star from means all information. Got it? DDL is the data definition language. Data definition that defines the table schema. What is schema? You already know. Schema is the table structure. To create the table structure, you can use data definition language. The structure will be created. The columns will be provided. The column names will be provided. Each column along with its data types will be specified. Along with its size of data requirement can be specified. We can also specify the constraints to the column names. According to the constraints specified, the data will be of limited category. It will support the database features to be availed, like your data consistency, maintaining data integrity, not providing redundant information, like that. Got it? The data definition language helps to create the structure by using a command called as create. Create table name. That will help to create a table with a specific table name. Suppose there is a database table called as student. So you can write create table student. Your table name is the student. Create table student. The student table is now going to be created. Along with that, you have to specify the field names. Field names means the attributes of the database table. The attributes along with its data types, you have to write there. What are the attributes? How the attributes to be provided? What are the data types? In what manner the data types are to be written? Those all we'll discuss in our next class. The create table along with the field names, provided a table name inside it, helps to create a database table with its field names and the type of data to be stored and the amount of information to be stored inside that. Got it? As many rows you want to create that are different, but what are the columns, those are specifically specified here. Got it? So with that restriction, you can create your database table. When your database table is created, suppose some changes are required, you have came into know after some time, then also you can make some changes in the table structure, table schema. No problem. You have given some table names, field names you have given, and field names you want to make certain a little alterations on that, little changes you want to make, or you want to make data type to be changed thereafter, or you want to specify the size of the amount of information you want to store in a particular column. At those moments, you require the table structure to be altered, to be changed. Using the alter command, you can do these alterations or modifications or changes. Mind it, to change the table structure, to modify the table structure, you can use alter command. And in which manner you will use the alter command, we will discuss in our later classes. Okay? Rename. You want to make some changes to the field names, then you can use rename. Truncate. You can use truncate in order to remove the information present in the database table. But the structure will be existing. The information will be removed, the space will be cleared out, but the table structure will be there. The table structure for storing the data later on can be utilized. Drop, another command. Drop is another command. Drop truncate is another command. Drop also you can use for removing a database table from the internal storage location of the database. Got it? These are the data definition language commands. These commands you can make use according to your requirement. Where you think 100% necessary of dropping a table, then you will use a drop table command. The table will be removed from the memory completely. If you want to use, you want the same table again, then that will be a difficulty. You cannot retrieve it. So you have to make confirmed that a table you want to drop, then only you will use the drop command, otherwise not. Got it? Rename you can use. Further you want to make a new name to be provided, then you can do. Alter you have made, you want to make some more changes in the fields available, then also you can do. One alter written you want to modify again and again, you can do thereon. That is no problem. Once you have created the table, whatever things you want to insert into that, you have to think carefully. Still you miss something, then there is a help, that is alter. Still in alter you have made some mistakes, you want to rectify all those through rename also you can do it. Some information already present, you want to remove all those informations, then you want to clear out the memory space, then truncate you can use. Drop, carefully we have to use the drop, because once the table has been removed, using drop you cannot get back it. Got it? There are data control languages. Using the control languages, the control over databases can be achieved by the users. Suppose you can say the administrators. The administrators have the right to make the changes on the databases, put some control over the database, make the controls altered thereafter. So to provide control on the database and manage the control over the database, you can use the data control languages. Everywhere, wherever we are doing some work, there is some control required. Without control features, the actions may go in a negative way. So in order to achieve the control actions, you have to use the data control languages on the query languages written. Got it? Control in the sense what? Some of the access permissions you have given to the databases. Some access permissions are already there with the database. You want to make changes on those access permissions. The database can be operated by whom? The database can be altered by whom? The database can be shown to which person? Like these controlling actions you can provide using the data control language. You have grant, revoke commands available. Okay. To provide access permissions inside the database, you can use grant commands. Some access permissions you don't want to provide, already allocated to them, then you can take back all those controls using the revoke. Got it? Suppose you have taken permission from your parents to go to Gopalpur for a trip. They have already given you permission, granted the permission. But thereafter, they came to know that there are some climate changes today. If you'll go there, then there may be some difficulties. So what they will do? They have already granted you permission, but due to the climate changes, there are supposed to have cyclone, there are supposed to have heavy rain. How they can give you permission? They can't give you permission. So they have to take back the grant. So there they'll revoke. Listen, better listen. Today there is heavy rain, you can't go there. Your permission have been revoked by your parents. You're not permitted to go there. Your cycle key will be taken, or your bike key will be taken, your mobile will be seized by the parents, you'll be locked in the room, anything. They'll try all the meaning of control, all the mediums of controlling you. They'll revoke the permission. They'll take out the permission for you to go out. Even you want to go to the nearby shop also, they will not permit you. You will skip and go somewhere like that. I think you can better understand. Sometimes you are feeling these situations at home. Priorly you have given permission to do that, after that they have denied. Why they have denied? They have the right to deny. They have revoked permissions. They are using the revoke permissions. Using that, they are taking back the permission for you. Right? Like that also, you can give permissions to the actions to be performed inside the database. The access permissions on the database are provided. After that, the access permissions are taken back. For providing, they'll use grant. For taking out the permissions, you can use the revoke. Got it? Next is your data manipulation language. This is a very important set of commands available here. Because whatever actions you want to do in the databases, those actions are permitted through the DML commands. You have created the database schema, you have created the table. What type of data you want to store inside that, you have already there. How you will store the data inside it, inside the table, and how those data will be managed inside the table are done through the DML commands, data manipulation language commands. Inserting, updating, delete unrequired data from the database tables, the DML commands are helpful. The supported commands are your insert into, you can say insert into, you can use update, you can use delete. Inserting helps you to insert the available data inside the database table. Insert into a particular row. Insert into a particular row. Insert into a particular row can make you creating a single row at a time. At a time, you can insert one row of information inside the database table. There is option of adding many information at a once, but not using the interactive query language. That is using PLSQL program. Inserting into can help you to create one line at a time, one set of information at a time you can insert. Got it? Update. Some changes you want to make in the existing row, then you can use update. Some alterations you have noticed after inserting the data, then how those alterations you can make inside a particular data or instance of information using update. Got it? Some set of information you have inserted in the database table, but you have noticed that those information are not required. So you can delete those specific rows. Got it? Using delete command. Got it? Your insert, update, delete are the DML commands. Those help you to manipulate the database, make modifications on the database, that there is nothing in the table before once it is created. So when you will add the data, it will have a new look on it. The new look you can create. You will update means also there will be a new look available. There are some data existing, you have deleted some of it. Then also there is a new look comes. The new look you can provide to the database table using the DML commands. Understood? Then TCL, transaction control language. Database is there. The database is containing many information. Those informations are requiring transactions inside it. Those transactions you can make using the transaction control languages. Database are always ready to do transactions. Whichever informations are stored in the databases need permanent storage inside it. Then only the internal database structure will be added with the new set of information. To add the new set of information, you can use the commit command. Commit, save the informations inserted into the database table. Commit. You can also use auto commit action started at the beginning. If you do auto commit, then whichever information you are writing, all those will be immediately saved. If you have not used auto commit prior, then after inserting the data, you have to write commit. Then the information you have inserted recently will be saved inside the database table. The database table will be created. Information will be inserted. You can look as a view at the time, but it will not be permanently saved if there is no use of commit command. Either auto commit priorly done or the commit you have to do after inserting the data. Then your data will be saved in the database table. Understood? Then rollback. If any mistakes you have made, errors you have made at some information insertion time, then you can use rollback. Rollback means undo an action. You can use rollback inside the database. Some informations you have inserted, but those informations are not required. You have noticed after some time. If you do rollback, then the information will go out. The errors will be removed. Then you can newly insert the information. Okay. Save point. Save point is another option to help you doing the rollback actions perfectly. You can create a set point, a value. Set point, a value. According to the value provided, you can start the set point action. You can start a pointer, and from that pointer value to some extent, you can do the rollback action. If you use set point, the whole database alterations can be restricted to a limited place. Set point. Okay. Regarding the use of commit, rollback, set point in detail, we'll discuss using some example. Using some example when we'll discuss, you can know more all about these commands perfectly. These are the overview of the usability of the commands. Those are supported by your SQL. In order to do the Oracle actions very well, you have to understand all those commands in a perfect manner by using certain examples. The database administrators have the permission to create databases, permission to make changes on the databases, permission to save the data permanently inside the database tables. But for your understanding purpose, you can use your recent versions of Oracle to do the SQL queries operated and make learned how to create the database, how to do actions on the database, and how to make modifications, how to save the data, how to update, how to delete, all those. Okay. In our next subsequent classes of Oracle commands, we'll discuss the use of all those commands along with some examples. I'll show you how these commands actually run and provide you the output. Okay, so watch all the YouTube videos perfectly so that you can understand the things very well. If some of the videos you are missing, then many of the doubts you will have in your brain, you cannot make all those clear. Got it? So go through all the videos carefully and watch how the actions are being carried out and try to learn all those. In our next subsequent classes, we'll discuss more points regarding the SQL informations, what are the database table creation features, how the database table will be created, how the data will be stored inside that, to store the data, how you will create fields, so in what manner you will insert the data into the fields, and what are the supported data types. Using the data types, the specific set of data you can insert. There are many things to be learned, so continuously watch the videos. Don't miss anyone. If you miss anything, then there will be many doubts of you. If you face any difficulty in the videos, then you can call me or message me and make all those doubts cleared out. Got it? Hopefully you will understand the things very well. Thank you.